Welcome to the Daily Success Show. I'm your host, Jamila Payne, and I'm on a mission to help millions of women take control of their work life. So if you want to be more productive, increase your earnings, and have time for self-care, then you're in the right place.
Daily success, daily success. Plan the week ahead. Be excellent. Make money moves. Achieve your goals. Transform your life. One routine at a time. Daily success. Daily success. Go and get yours. You better go get yours.
Welcome back to the show. Today, we're talking about overcoming a lack mentality so that you can gain an abundance mindset. So what is a lack mentality? Well, it's a point of view. It's a way of seeing the world around you, your life. When you feel like there's not enough, you're not enough. There's something constantly lacking. It could be time, money, mentors, clients, friends, support, connections, anything. And because you're thinking about what you don't have all the time, you have a really tough time attracting the things that you do want. And then when something finally goes right, you can suffer from an underlying fear that it's going to go wrong or it won't last for very long. It's really hard to settle in on any great opportunities because in the back of your mind, you worry that it's going to go away. Sound familiar? Let me tell you why this is so important. Think of lack mentality as a pair of shades. When you have them on, you see the world in this way of not being enough. Things aren't enough. You don't have enough, and it will keep you stuck. But if you take off those shades and pick up a pair of, let's call them abundance shades, then you start to see things differently. It's easy to put on a pair of lack brand glasses. People at your day job will offer them by complaining about the workload, other colleagues. Your family will complain about other family member, the kids, the family reunion plans, what's not done around the house. You may even have clients that complain too. There's no shortage of people that are wearing the lack brand glasses. So you just need to not get pulled into the darkness. And sometimes that's a little easier said than done. Trust me, when you start to see things differently, you'll create different results. And I want to help you today to start seeing things differently. One of my favorite personal sayings is your business can only grow as much as you do. That's why for us to tackle being productive in your life and business, we must address the personal growth that is required around your mindset. So today I'm going to kick off with 7 questions that will help you identify if you are suffering with a lack mindset. And then we're going to wrap up today's episode with several tips and suggestions, practical things that you can do starting today to get rid of the lack mindset and start stepping more into an abundant mindset. Sound good? All right, get out your pen and paper, or in fact, we've created an action guide for today's episode with the 7 questions. So if you happen to be driving, do not try to write anything down, okay? Just go to dailysuccess.co and grab the action guide for today's episode where you can find all of the questions that I'm going to mention here and then even some of the tips. All right. So here we go. Question number 1. Do you notice that your energy changes as your bank account lowers? So think about you are spending money for whatever, doesn't matter, but you notice like when you go in to check your bank account, as it's getting lower and lower and lower, your energy is starting to change. Like there's a little bit of anxiety around spending. Okay. This could be a sign of lack mentality. Okay. Question number 2. Do you feel anxious about spending money because you're worried if it will come back to you. Even for things that you know you need to take care of, your car note, your mortgage payment, like things that are super important in your life, you're concerned about putting out the money because you're worried about whether or not you can earn it back, if it will come back to you. Number 3, you are afraid to invest in programs or learning opportunities because you're worried that you won't follow through, because there's something in you that has a sense of lack. It could be lack of time. I'm not sure if I'll have a lack of time to complete this. It could even be that you're suffering because of lack of follow through in the past. You signed up for a program, a class, a training, and you didn't do the work. You didn't show up to all of the classes. You weren't present. You never made time for it in your life. And so you even have a fear now of doing things, investing in things that will help you grow and help you achieve your goals because of this past experience of lack of follow through or lack of time. Question number 4, you feel frustrated by your peers or other people in your industry who seem to be further along. This is really feeling that you're not enough. Like, why am I not further along? Why do they have success and I don't? Success will never happen for me in the way that I want it to happen. Success will never be achieved in any kind of constant sustaining way. These are the things that negative naysayer voice inside of us can tell us when we are suffering from lack mentality. Number 5, you're often focused on what you don't have or what's missing from your life or business. This can show up in all kinds of ways. I'm not married yet. I'm not in a great relationship yet. I don't have children yet. I don't have my dream house yet. I don't have my dream car yet. My business isn't not at the dream level yet. I don't have my dream job yet. I don't have my dream friends yet. I haven't done the dream trip. Can you see how far this can go? Right? So if you're focused always on what's missing from your life and or your business, this is definitely a sign of lack. All right. Number 6, you find yourself being withdrawn or in isolation from others because you feel that you don't have the necessary financial resources to do anything. And so maybe your friends, you have the kind of friends that are always going out to dinner parties, or they are going to the best restaurants in your city, or they're traveling and doing these extravagant trips to all these different places. And you just feel like, I'm going to pull back a little bit. I'm not going to hang out as much because I don't feel like I have the resources to do that right now. And I see this so often, especially with entrepreneurs, because they haven't achieved certain results in their business, and this is usually financial results, then they don't even feel that it makes sense for them to do anything else. Okay. Which leads to question number 7, which is, do you feel that you don't deserve a break or time off because you're not earning enough? So I've had clients who they have no fun time. And we talked about fun time a little bit in the last episode. They don't have any fun time planned out in their schedule. And therefore, that is because they don't feel like they have done enough work. Okay. They're creating this crazy brain dump to-do list that they somehow think that they're going to accomplish every day, but it's too difficult to accomplish because it was unrealistic to begin with. And when you don't get enough things checked off of that list, you don't feel like you've earned the right to stop working. You don't feel like you have done enough that justifies an 8-hour day, so you must continue working. So at 5 or 6 or even 7 o'clock, you take a break, you might grab some dinner, which is a problem too, because then you're eating really late. Your food doesn't get to digest before you go to sleep, and then you're putting on weight, and like everything leads into everything else. But you're not taking the time that you deserve to go to a dance class, work out, go for a bike ride, hang out with your friends, because you feel like you're not earning enough. Okay, does that resonate with you? Do any of these questions resonate with you? Have you suffered from any of these things, or are you currently suffering from any of these symptoms of lack mentality? So I just want you to be honest with yourself. I'm not there with you at the moment. So this is time for you to take your own truth serum and get really real with yourself, because if you are suffering from this lack mentality, even a little bit, it can be holding you back from getting to your next milestone. And we don't want that. We want to stop that right now. Now, I want to just be 100% transparent. I'm not sharing this with you because I have no experience with this. I've definitely have experience at points in my life and points in my business struggling with lack mentality. And I'm going to share a little bit more about that with you in a minute. But what I found is that when I began to shift my mindset, when I started thinking more abundantly, things changed. If they change for me, they can absolutely change for you. Like, they can change for you if they can change for me. I want to walk you through how to overcome this lack mindset. Now that we've gotten clear on whether or not this is something that you're currently experiencing, any area of your life, I want to break down how to begin to address this lack mindset so that you can have the life that you dream of, so that you can have the business that you dream of. All right, sound good? Let's keep going. So I want to share a couple of episodes that can help you to address the feeling of not enough, lack. I don't have things in place in different areas of your business that you can take action on right now. So definitely check out episode number 22 of the Daily Success Show called You Need Time Off, how to take a vacation without losing sales. Because if you're struggling with lack, I can almost bet that you are not allowing yourself to have a sufficient amount of time off or self-care. Then check out our episode on how to build a team and stop doing everything yourself. And that is episode 21 of the Daily Success Show. And then finally, I want you to check out episode 20, which is planning a weekly work schedule to get more done without working long hours, because hustling is not the answer anymore. It's really about being able to think and work strategically in your life and business. Okay, so now we're officially ready. Let's jump into some of the actions that you can take in order to overcome lack mindset. The first thing is to really focus on gratitude. And I know you've heard be grateful and all the things, but this is real. Like, it's so real that having a mind frame towards gratitude will absolutely make a difference in your life. Okay, let me say more about this. Gratitude allows you to feel in your mind, in your body, in your entire being that you are thankful for what you have right now. If what you have right now is not enough for you, if you just feel like what you have right now won't make you happy, you won't be happy until you have more, you achieve the financial results, you have the right relationship, you take the amazing trip, then it's very difficult to generate those things in your life. Okay, so how can you begin to manifest grateful feelings? So first, I use a book called The 5-Minute Journal. I'll link to that in the show notes, or you can also Google for it. It's so readily available, but I utilize the 5-Minute Journal. And when I was at a place of struggling with feeling grateful for where I was in my life, and I was too future focused, I don't know if this is true for you, but it's true for me. I'm a very future focused person. I think it might be a thing with entrepreneurs that because we're visionaries, we're constantly thinking and planning towards the future. We're looking and planning towards what we want to make happen. I don't really thrive in talking a lot about the past. it's weird for me, like when I go to reunions and stuff like that, or get together with college girlfriends and they're going over different things that happened. I mean, some of those memories are fun, but some of it is like, it's done, people. Like for me, like that's what I'm thinking, like this is over. Why are we still talking about this? But like I said, some of it is fun, but my natural state of being is let's talk about the future. Let's make plans for the future. Let's plot out our future. You know, like that's where I live. Okay, I know I'm a special person, but that's really how I think about it. Okay, so I've been in a place of being so future focused and then feeling this pressure that I'm not at my desired future yet, which made me feel unhappy with my present circumstances. And so utilizing the practice of gratitude helped me to feel really excited about where I am in my life. And that feeling of gratefulness allowed me to generate more of what I wanted to create. Okay. So 5-minute journal is one tool that you can use. I also have had a practice of every morning when I wake up, before I get out of bed, like I literally just open my eyes and say 3 things I'm grateful for. It could be anything. It could be like, I'm grateful that I get to sleep in an amazing soft bed that allows me to be knocked out and I'm not like tossing and turning because I'm on hard springs. Or I'm grateful to live in a beautiful home. I'm grateful to live in a progressive city. Like whatever it is for you, I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful to be in my right mind. Every day, just say 3 things you're grateful for. Okay, another way to practice gratitude is to pray. If you are a spiritual or religious person, I personally am a Christian, and so prayer has been a way for me to practice gratitude. And I've talked about this in a previous episode where I learned a prayer called ACTS, A-C-T-S, which is all about affirmation, confession, testimonial, and then the S, I always screw up the pronunciation, but I think it's subjugation. I don't know. It basically means pray for others. Okay. So that's the S. So you can Google for that, the ACTS prayer, and we'll link to an example in the show notes. But basically, it's a way of praying that for me has allowed me to be more focused on gratitude instead of praying begging prayers. Like, have you ever been praying those begging prayers like, Lord, please give me XYZ? Just help me, Lord. You know, like those begging prayers. I had to learn, stop doing begging prayers and be more thoughtful about my prayer life. And using that formula has really made a big difference for me in generating more gratitude in my life, but also thinking about it in a variety of different areas. What has happened in my life, where I am right now, the people that are around me and the people that I love, and being able to pray for them and pray for the things that they want and pray for things that I hope for them. It's really made a super huge difference for me. I think overall that when you are in a place of gratitude, it helps you to realize that challenges, struggles that you may have faced or may be facing are a part of your life story. The good news is that you're the author of the story. And so you get to decide whether or not you want to sit up in the mud and wallow in sorrow for yourself because you haven't done everything you wanted to do. You aren't where you want to be. There's still more that you want to achieve. Or you could realize like, hold up, I'm the author of this book and I get to write the next chapter in the way that I see fit. So that's all about gratitude. Are you enjoying today's episode? Well, there's more. Check out my free masterclass, How to Create Consistent Leads Without Giving Up Work-Life Boundaries. If you're tired of overworking, letting projects pile up, or just not seeing the progress that you want in your business, it is time to tweak your routine to include more income and self-care by learning a productivity process so that your business can run without you being there all the time. Learn the 3-part daily success system, the art of automating your business operations so that everything creating sales is on autopilot and you can get your time back. Let's create a color-coded action plan that allows you to do more of the right stuff in your business. RSVP for How to Create Consistent Leads without giving up work-life boundaries. Go to dailysuccess.co/grow. That's dailysuccess.co/grow. Okay, so let's talk about the second action that you can take to overcome a lack mindset. And that is really about saying to yourself or asking the question, how can I make things happen? So I realized this very early in my adult life that when I put the right information into my brain, it gave me good information back. Okay, let me explain this a little bit more. Our brain is wired to help us to, number one, survive, but it can help us to be successful, right? Which I see as a part of survival. When I have said to my brain, how can I do X, Y, Z? It has generated tons of answers. But when I've said to my brain, I can't do X, Y, Z, like I can't afford it. I don't have the time, right? Like when that's the information that's coming out of my house, connecting with my brain, then there's nowhere to go from there. Years ago, this was not long after I had finished college, and I can't remember if I've shared this story with you before, but not long after I finished college, me and a girlfriend of mine have found out about this conference that was called the Impact Conference, okay? And at this Impact Conference was going to be all of these people, all of these industry people. And at the time I was working in the fashion industry. I had a e-commerce business in the fashion industry that I was starting. And there was this Impact Conference and I'm like, everyone's going to be there. It had like people in entertainment, like Sean Puffy Combs and all these other industry people were going to be there. I'm like, this is going to be amazing. All these entertainment people and business leaders and all this stuff. I want to go. I did a little research about the conference and I found out that the registration was bigger than my personal budget. I don't remember exactly what it was then, but let's just say the registration might have been $800. I'm like, dang, I really need to be at this conference, but I do not have $800. How can I still go? And the conference was in Miami and I was based in and living in Philadelphia at the time. So I'm like, okay, how do I get to this conference in Miami? Certainly I could swing the plane tickets down to Miami. I could totally get a hotel or a place to stay, but I don't have the $800 for the registration fee. It hit me. Why don't you call them? I was like, you would be flying to Miami. The organization putting on this conference is based in New York, so they're flying to Miami. I bet you they're not flying their whole team to Miami and they're going to need help. So I contacted the conference and said, can I volunteer? I said, I'd be happy to do registration or provide help at the conference in exchange for being able to attend the sessions for free. The thought was that I would volunteer on the first day or two and then at certain times of the day and then be able to go to the rest of the sessions. They were like, yes, totally. So I was able to get them to agree to allow me and my girlfriend Shalia to come to this conference and volunteer for free. We went down to Miami and had a blast. Okay. And it was like a life-changing experience because I met the person who essentially became a mentor to me and business coach and really helped me to develop as an entrepreneur and is still a close friend to this day. You know, here we are. This is, I don't know, crazy time later. So like maybe 17 years later or something like that. Here it was just because I formed my mind to say, how can I make this happen? It gave me the right information. I find this is true too, when it comes to people thinking about how do I, like I don't have enough money for a program or I don't have enough money for my own personal development or a course or something that I want to do. But it's better to just do the math. Ask yourself, how can I? If I want to invest in this program or this course or this opportunity or this conference that I want to attend, how many clients do I have to bring in this month in order to be able to achieve that goal? How many people can I help and serve in achieving their dreams so that you can achieve yours, right? How many people can you help and serve to achieve their dreams so that you can achieve yours? Frame your mind to think about how can I make things happen, and stop being in scarcity of there's not enough. I don't have enough. I won't make enough. I'm not sure if I can do this. The money is not there and I have all of this stuff to take care of and life keeps hitting me so hard. Stop it. Shift your mind so that you are asking the right question, which is, how can I make this happen? Okay, the next action that you can take is to start focusing on others. What I have found in my own life, and this might absolutely be true for you, is that when I was suffering with a lack mentality and feeling like I wasn't enough, there wasn't enough, I was too self-focused. Because then when you're saying, I'm not enough, I don't have enough, there's not enough, what's the key word there? It's all about you, right? It's you. And you're too self-focused. And so you have to shift your focus to others to get out of that lack mentality. Start asking, how do I get better transformations for my clients? How can I spend quality time with my family? How can I start getting the results that I need in my business, like for my business, not for you, but for the business, which is a separate entity? How can you help this separate entity thrive? So shift the focus from you to others and the impact that you can create through the work that you do. Okay. And the final action that I want to share is to create the feeling of abundance. Create the feeling of abundance. How do you create the feelings of abundance when you're in a lack mentality? Well, you have to consider what makes you feel abundant. For me, what makes me feel abundant sometimes is travel, being able to get away. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Jamila, well, if I feel a state of lack around money, how in the heck can I go on a trip? Well, you just want to get creative about it. Maybe you're arranging a staycation, or maybe you're going to visit a friend. I have definitely done this early in my career where I really needed a getaway or something to like change my state of mind. And I would go visit a friend that was in a different city, a place that I could drive to. I could stay at their house, so I didn't have to worry about a hotel. All I had to do was have a couple bucks, spending money if we grabbed something to eat. But 9 times out of 10, they were cooking dinner and all that kind of stuff. But it was not an expensive, I'm going to get on a plane and go to a Caribbean island level vacation. But it made a huge difference. It made me feel abundant. I was feeling adventurous in this new place. I was feeling gratitude because I was having time with a friend. I was feeling the time to think. So one of the things that I love doing to be able to think and clear my head is drive. So a road trip really helps me to like clear my mind and listen to music and listen to inspiring podcasts like the Daily Success Show and whatever I can do to be able to get in a different mind frame. Funny story, and my business mentor, who I mentioned, who had been a long-term mentor and friend, was having a conversation with me. This was, I don't know, a long time ago, let's say early 2000s. And I was in a really bad place. So let's say this is maybe like 2001 or something like that. I was in a really bad place. I was just starting out my retail e-commerce business in fashion, and like a series of unfortunate events had happened. Okay. So lo and behold, my bank account was on E. My emotions were on E. I was drained. I believe this was at the point when I also had recently had like a car accident. Like I fell asleep at the wheel, like insanity. Okay. That's a whole nother podcast, whole nother story. I was in a bad place and like really in the lack mentality. And so I had reached out to him, or maybe he called me because he hadn't heard from me and was like checking on me to see how I was doing. And I was explaining all of the things that were going on and that I just didn't have this and I didn't have that and blah, 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 blah. And he was like, I'm going to send you $100. And I was like, what? He was like, I'm going to send you $100. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like this is insane. So he sent me $100. Let me tell you, that $100, when it landed in my account, it was as if I had enough money to go and buy a brand new Tesla. It was $100, okay? But I was like, yes, my whole energy changed. I was happy. I was on fire. I felt motivated. I know that sounds crazy from $100, but that is exactly what happened. Why? That $100 was an energy shift. Like, it's not by accident that he sent me the money. I mean, he even explained it to me later. He said, I knew that it would change your mindset enough to allow you to do what needed to be done to change your circumstances. And it absolutely did. $100. I want you to think about, how can you create the feeling of abundance? Does that mean that you need to do a little road trip? Be in a situation that is going to allow you to feel abundant. One of the other things, and again, like my thing is travel, so you'll see the similarities here. One thing that I learned, I had this client years ago that was based in Prince George County, Maryland. When I would go down there to work with that client, they would book a hotel for me. And in that hotel, I'm telling you, I had some of the best times of my life in terms of ideas and vision and all that stuff. So I would be in that hotel room by myself, break out a notebook. I would create all these plans and dreams and the vision for what I wanted in my life. Something about being in that space, being in that room, this different environment allowed me to be so creative and feel abundant. I want you to explore and figure out what those things are for you. How can you generate the feelings of abundance? If you go back and listen to the Daily Success Show, where I talked about creating a quarterly goal report, you will also hear me talk about in that report how that trip. So I did a trip for my birthday in February to, where did we go? It was to Mexico. We did a trip to Mexico. It was so awesome and amazing. And it just made me feel so abundant. Being in this beautiful space, it felt luxurious. The place was a resort that had only been open for 3 months. So we were one of the early customers. Everything was brand new. You know, we got great treatment. The restaurants, the food were amazing. The food was like, everything was amazing. I felt good in my spirit. I felt abundance in my life. I generated so many ideas for the business. I came back and had a really big month afterwards. Can you see a pattern here? Can you see the patterns? When you generate these feelings of abundance, it will allow you to create more abundance in your life and in your business. I want you to just explore the actions that we talked about here today. Figure out which action that you're going to take. Okay, so I guess we're getting into action taking time here. Today's action taking is, I want you to rewind. Go back and rewind because you missed something. You're driving, you're working out, you're doing stuff, you missed something. I want you to go back and rewind this episode to the beginning of the actions that I discussed that you can take to be able to create an abundant mindset. So let me just quickly review those for you right here. Action number 1 is to practice gratitude. Okay. Number 2 is to ask yourself, how can you make things happen? And then begin to put that plan in place. Okay. So your brain will give you the information if you ask it the right question. Action number 3 is to focus on others. Stop being so self-centered. Focus on others. How do you get transformations for your clients? How do you spend time with your family? Okay. Focus on others. And then action number 4 is to create the feeling of abundance. Generate that emotional feeling by doing something that makes you personally, who you are, feel more abundant, whatever that is for you. All right. So for the action taking time today, I want you to go back. I want you to listen to those actions. Then I want you to decide which one are you going to do today, starting today, because there is no time like the present, and you cannot be productive in your business, achieve the amazing goals and dreams that you have for yourself if you are stuck in a place of lack. Trust me, when you shift this energy, you will start to see more open up in your life. All right. That is your homework for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'm excited to hear your stories of how you are able to get rid of the feeling of lack in your life. So I want you to send me an email to hello@dailysuccessroutine.com and let me know, what action did you take? How has today's episode impacted you? What were your big takeaways? And I promise to read every single email. I'm so looking forward to hearing from you. And if you took something away from today's episode and you enjoyed it, okay, so leave us a rating on iTunes or wherever you listen to the Daily Success Show podcast. Number one, it lets me know that you're out there and you're listening. It helps the Daily Success Show to be able to get more visibility in different places where podcasts are shared. And it also helps other people to know, like, hey, I should maybe check out this Daily Success Show because I see people have given it a 5-star rating. So that means that they like it and maybe I'll like it. So I'm going to check out the show. Do me a favor and leave us a rating and review in iTunes or wherever you listen to the Daily Success Show podcast. I can't wait to hear from you. If you would like to become a member of the Achievers Club or check out my one-on-one consulting, then go to dailysuccess.co/schedule. Book a call with me or Daily Success team member so you can get the income generating processes in your business on autopilot. That's dailysuccess.co/schedule. Hey, we don't have to wait until the next episode to hang out. So the next time you're on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, type Jamila Payne or Daily Success Routine into the search bar, and you'll find more great tips, inspiration, and ideas to help you get organized, productive, and live your dream life.
Daily success, daily success. Plan the week ahead, be excellent. Make money moves, achieve your goals. Transform your life, one routine at a time. Daily success, daily success. Go and get yours. You better go get yours. Daily success, daily success, daily success. You better go get yours. Daily success, daily success, daily success, daily success.